Hello guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to draft an halter top pattern that can be sewn to either skirts or pants. So if it's something that you're interested in, you're in the right place. Please stay tuned and watch the end of this video. Thank you. So without much further ado, let's get right into this video. So I already went ahead to place some measurements on the pattern paper already. I already placed the length of the top, which is 17 inches in this case. It depends on what you want. You could make it longer or shorter. So I went by 17 inches for the length of this halter top. And then from my shoulder to bust point is 10 inches. And then I came up by 1.5 for the chest line measurement. And then for the neck, I came out 3 inches by 3 inches for the width and for the depth of this neck for the front. And then I also, the shoulder I'm working with is 15 inches, divided by 2 is what I placed there, 7.5. And then I also went ahead to place the shoulder slope. We won't be needing it, but I'm just using it as a guideline for this tutorial. So what I'll do now is to place my bust circumference. I'm working with a bust 36 inches, divided by 4 is 9 inches. So that's what I'm placing on the chest line there. So 9 inches, and then from the 9 inches I'm going to be coming down by 0.5 inch for ease for this halter top. I'm coming down 0.5 for ease. Then the next thing that I'll be doing now is to place my bust span measurement or my nipple to nipple measurement. I'm working with 8 inches in this case, so I divided that by 2, which gave me 4. So I'm placing it on the bust line and also on the waistline, 4 inches on the bust and on the waist, like that. Then I'll just connect it together with a straight ruler. Then I'll come to the bust point and come down by 1 inch from the bust point. Before I draw my dart, I'll come down by 1 inch just like I'm doing. And then on the waistline, I'm going to be going out by 0.5 inch on both sides, which will make the dart I'm taking on the waistline 1 inch in total, 0.5 on both sides. And I'll connect to the 1 inch that I came down by from the bust point just like I'm doing. Now before we draw our halter shape, I want to redraw this neckline with a marker so it can be clearer. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to draw that with a marker now before we draw the shape of our halter. Then after doing this, the shape totally depends on you. You could go lower or higher from the point where you want your halter to start from, but I'm going to be starting my halter from the tip of the neck where I'm indicating there. Then I'll connect it to the bust measurement with a slightly curved ruler, just like I'm doing. So after drawing out the armhole for the halter, I'm just going to go to the waistline and place my measurement for the waist. I'm working with a waist 28 inches divided by 4 gives me 7 inches. So I'm going to be placing the 7 inches plus the 1 inch dart. I will have the 1 inch dart that I took on the waist, and then I'll connect the 2 points together like so. So now, because we've manipulated the armhole for this halter, it's going to gape if we leave it this way. So in order to avoid gaping at the armhole area, I'm going to take out some amount from this place so I can tighten up that area. So in order to do so, I'm going to just place my ruler somewhere around there, connecting it to the edge of this armhole, and then from the bust point I'm going to be connecting it to somewhere around this armhole. Just watch what I'm doing, like that. I'll connect it straight to the bust point like this, and then I'll take out about 1 inch from this point, so that will be half an inch on both sides of this line that I drew. So I'll just take out half an inch on both sides, making 1 inch total. So it's going to be like kind of like a dart that I'm taking out from here to tighten up this armhole area basically. Guys, I apologize for the distractions at the background. I don't know the chicken that is crying wherever the chicken's crying from. Anyway, I'll come to this chest line area and then mark what I have at that to replace it back to the bust measurement. So when I measured it, I had something like 0.75 inch from that area, so I need to add it back to the bust measurement. So that's what I'm doing. I added it back. I'm just going to use my marker to connect it like that, just that way, and then I'll connect it back to the waist measurement. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing now is opening up the dart at the armhole area and also at the waist area. So I'll cut through the dart at the waist and also at the armhole in order for me to do the splash and spread. So I'm cutting through the dart at the armhole area, not quite getting to the bust point but almost at the bust point. Then I'll go over to the waist dart as well, that side of the waist dart. Then I'll open that up to not quite getting to the bust point but almost at the bust point. Then I'll try to close the dart at the armhole. So because I'm closing the dart at the armhole, the dart is going to automatically transfer to the waist dart. So the 1 inch I took from this armhole that I'm closing up right now is going to the waist dart automatically. So I'm just trying to tidy up that side. I'm measuring what I have there. So the 1 inch is already transferred to the waist. So I'm closing up the darts that I closed at the armhole area with the masking tape. So now the dart that we have there now is about 2 inches. The 1 inch transferred to the previous 1 inch at the waist. So at the armhole, as you can see, it's not the same. So I need to throw the lines and make them equal. So I'm going to be using my curved ruler to connect the lines together and redraw the shape of the armhole. So after redrawing the lines, this is what I have. We do not need that anymore. So this is the new shape of the armhole. As you can see, it's shorter than the previous one. That way it won't gape. So now I'll just cut out this front pattern. Now because this is the front pattern, so it's going to be on fold. When you're cutting on your material, this is the front, it's going to be on fold. So that's the center front and that's the side front. For the back pattern, I came down the same way I did for the front, for the shoulder to bust and all that. Then for my neck, I did 3 inches by 1.5 for the back, and then I came out by about 1 inch for the zipper allowance at the back. Remember, this is the back, is going to have the zipper if you want. So I'm just going to use a marker to draw out this zipper line. For the bust measurement, just the same way as I did for the front, it's 36 divided by 4. So I'm placing 9 inches on the chest line, just like I did for the front. So then for the nipple to nipple, same as the front, 4 inches on the bust line, and then I'll go down to the waistline and also put 4 inches there, and I'll connect with a straight ruler, just like I did for the front, guys. Then I'll go over to the waistline and take half an inch on both sides of this line for the dart at the back, so making 1 inch total, and then I'll connect straight to the bust line. Before I draw out my armhole shape, I'm going to be coming down by 0.5 at the bust measurement, just like I did for the front, before I connect my armhole. Now, just like we did for the front, we need to also take out some little amounts from this armhole so it won't gape. But I'm going to be taking out just half an inch. You know, I took out 1 inch for the front, but for the back, I need just like about half an inch to take out from the back. So that's just what I'm going to be doing. I'll take out half an inch from this and form like an half an inch dart basically on the armhole, and I'll connect to the bust point. Then I'll go over to that area and check out what I need to add back. So I got about 0.25 inch, so I'm adding it back to the bust measurement from that. So I'll just add it back right there and connect it together, and then draw it back to the waist measurement. So same as the front, I'm going to be placing my waist measurement on the waistline. I'm working with a waist 28 divided by 4 gives me 7. So I'm going to be placing it there, taking into account the 1 inch dart that I also took. So I'm adding the 1 inch dart to the measurement as well, and then I'll connect it back to the bust measurements like I'm doing. So just like we did for the front, I need to open up the dart at the armhole and spread it to the waist dart. So I'm going to be opening up these darts, cutting it all the way towards the bust point, but not quite to the bust point. Then I'll move over to the waist dart and also open up this waist dart and cutting it all the way to the bust point area, but not quite at the bust point, but almost at the bust point. Then I'll close up the dart at the armhole. By doing so, I'm transferring the half an inch dart that I took at the armhole straight to the waist dart. So I'm just closing up that part right now, like I'm doing that with the masking tape, by the way. So as you can see, we need to reshape the armhole just like we did for the front. So that's just what I'm going to be doing now, through the lines and reshape the armhole. So this is now the new armhole for the back now. So because I closed the dart at the armhole area, the waist dart automatically increased by 0.5 inch. So in total, we have 1.5 inches at the waist dart now instead of the 1 inch previously. So on the zipper allowance, I'm going to be coming out by 0.5 inch on the zipper allowance, and then I'll be taking in 0.5 inch also on the line, at the zipper line, like that. Then from that 0.5, I'll connect it towards the neck area, just the way I'm doing. Just watch what I'm doing, like this. And then the other side, I'll also connect towards the outward part of the zipper while maintaining the 1 inch zipper measurement we used previously. And then I'll just cut out this pattern. And remember that the back is going to be in 2 pieces because you have the zipper opening at the back, guys. So we have 2 pieces for the back because of the zipper. And here are the 2 pieces, the front and back, guys. Now for the collar or the tie for the halter, I'm going to just mark out about 10 inches or 11 inches or thereabout and rule a straight line, and then go to the midpoint of that line and mark that as my shoulder line, just like I'm doing. I'll just mark that as my shoulder line, and then I'll go over to the other side and mark that as the center back and the other side as the center front line. Now I'll go over to the back pattern and measure out my neckline. I had about 3.5 inches for the neck. I'm going to place that on that line for the center back. So I'll place what I have on that line signifying the center back line, the 3.5 inches. I'll place that on it. Then I'll go over to the front pattern and measure out the neck measurements there. Whatever you have for the neck, you place it on this line signifying the center front line, just like we did for the back. You place your measurements on it. Then on this neck measurement at the front, I'll come up by 1 inch. I'll mark 1 inch from that point, like that. And after marking the 1 inch, I'll connect it to the shoulder line at the center of this line that I drew, like that. With a curved ruler, I'll connect the points together, just like I'm doing. Now at the center back line, neckline, I'm going to be determining how wide I want my collar to be. In this case, I'm going to be using 1.5 inches for the width of my collar. So that's what I'm marking right there. Then after connecting it back together, I'll go back to the center front neckline and also mark the 1.5 inches for the width, but I'm not going to be marking it straight. I'm going to be slanting my hand a little bit, about 45 degree, just a little bit slanted inwards. Then I'll mark my 1.5 inches width for my collar. Then after marking that, I'm just going to connect from that point back into the center front neckline, just like I'm doing. I'll connect it together like this. Then I'll connect it back to the center back neckline with a curved ruler like I'm doing. Now, don't forget that the center back neckline where I'm indicating right there is going to be on fold. When you're cutting on your fabric, that side is going to be on fold because it's the center front, while the other side at the center back is going to be open because these are the zipper allowance at the back. So that side is going to be open. Now, in case you want like a button extension at the end of your collar, you can add about 1 inch, just like I'm doing. It's optional. That's if you want a button extension at the back of your collar. Maybe you want to place a button there or whatever you want to place. You can add about 1 inch, then just join it back into the pattern for the collar. But for this tutorial, I'm not using a button extension, so I won't be needing that area. I hope you understand. Now I'm just going to cut this pattern out. And don't forget, you're going to be adding your sewing allowance round it. That area is going to be on fold, while that side is going to be open because at the back, this is at the front, so it's going to be on fold. So these are the patterns, guys. You'll be adding your sewing allowances around the M line, around the armhole, the neckline, and the side seam. You won't be adding to the center front and the center back. The center front is going to be on fold, so you're going to be adding around the neckline to join to your collar, just like I'm indicating. And that concludes today's tutorial, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. If you found this video really helpful, please give me a thumbs up and share my video. Also subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much, and please turn on your post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload new content. Till I see you in my next video. Bye.